Hello guys and welcome to History of Dragon Ball. Today we are looking at Piccolo's relationship with Gohan. Okay, so we're just having a little bit of a different one today, looking over a special article from the V-Jump June magazine. Now, this section is called Gohan's Growth as seen from Piccolo's eyes. And there's maybe one little interesting reveal from this that we get for the new Dragon Ball Super superhero movie. So stay tuned to find out what that is. This article is all about Gohan and his past building up to the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie release, and this shows a compilation of scenes where Master Piccolo witnessed Gohan's growth. So I thought we would go through what this article says and maybe have a thing or two to say on a couple of points. Let's jump into it. Number 1 is they first meet, and at this point Piccolo just thinks this is Goku's son, he's a spoiled brat. It shows us the panels of when he headbutts Raditz and then Piccolo talking to him afterwards. Piccolo realizes that this kid has no idea just how good he could be, the hidden power that is actually deep within him, and really if he's that strong, why is he such a miserable little brat, as he puts it. But straight away, what this showed Piccolo is that he was convinced Gohan had this great potential. And really, this is where the relationship all kicked off. Then at part 2, we have that first year of training before Vegeta and Nappa were to arrive. This is where Piccolo finally manages to break Gohan out of that stigma of bursting into tears, saying that it now is gone. Through his survivor lifestyle and training with Piccolo, Gohan has grown both mentally and physically. Even Piccolo shows an expression of satisfaction as he watches him grow. You can see here how that connection between Piccolo and Gohan is just gaining more and more strength as time goes on. I mean, a year alone, just these two, they are going to start growing a bit of a bond, and this was a great time to see that grow. So then we move on to point 3, where the battle has finally arrived against the Saiyans, and this is versus Nappa. He once acknowledged his strength, as well as saying, following some harsh words to Gohan, who had become completely motionless in the actual battle, he gives him a second chance. This is a massive point for the relationship of Piccolo and Gohan. Piccolo still understands that this kid is, well, still a bit of a little brat and a bit of a crybaby. So despite the fact he did not react to the chance that they had, stayed completely motionless, he knows that there is still potential within Gohan to potentially be that deciding factor. And that all comes from the moment he sacrifices himself. Gohan is so upset when this sacrifice is made, and Piccolo even says how Gohan is the only person to ever treat him with respect. And this is a big part of breaking down Piccolo's barrier and creating even more of a strong bond between these two. Gohan now sees Piccolo as a true teacher, as a mentor, and really as a good guy, not that evil demon king that Goku would have met back in Dragon Ball. Their relationship is just getting stronger and stronger, and I mean sacrificing your life for someone is going to just improve that. But then the Saiyans leave, the guys go to Namek, and Piccolo gets revived. At this point against third form Frieza, Gohan goes absolutely nuts and really takes it to such a powerful opponent. Piccolo has died, been brought back, and he can see straight away how much stronger Gohan has become. He even says the amazing words of "I'm proud of you," which from Piccolo is a big thing. You can really see here how much of a good guy Piccolo has now become, and you can really thank all of that to Gohan, really. But even more in the article it says, after having his latent abilities drawn out by the oldest elder, Gohan's power had increased dramatically. Piccolo was pleased to see how much he had grown after seeing Gohan's all-out blow at Frieza in his third form, which really just reiterates what I just said. Gohan's epic growth would almost blow Piccolo's socks off if he even wore any. And there's actually an interesting part in this article too of where you get this point from Vegeta's point of view as well as just Piccolo's. And Vegeta starts to freak out thinking that Gohan is the one who is now closest to becoming a Super Saiyan. At this point it's all that Vegeta's obsessed with, becoming that legendary Super Saiyan, believing it should be him. But when he's seen such power from a kid, hey, maybe Gohan is the one to be that legend instead. Really all it does is surprise him, and with someone of Vegeta's power to be surprised by this kid, it shows again how much his power has gone up. But again then, to finish off this section, we see another growing part of Gohan and Piccolo's relationship, where when Piccolo arrives, he really greets him with just joy, as he's so happy to see him again. and even Piccolo is happy to see Gohan. It's a great exchange when they first get reintroduced to each other, and yet again, it just shows more and more growth between the two. So next in the article we move on to the time of Cell. So Gohan has just been in the hyperbolic time chamber and come out after his year of training with Goku, obviously only after one real day. Piccolo is amazed to see Gohan's power over Goku. Gohan has grown taller and his appearance has also changed drastically. So basically, Piccolo is surprised at the growth that Gohan has managed to make in the Room of Spirit and Time. And then from here, when they actually go to fight Cell, Piccolo gets angry at Goku for making Gohan fight Cell. He respects Gohan's feelings more than anyone else. Piccolo is hurt that Goku would send Gohan to really just be killed by Cell. At this point, Piccolo has not seen the true strength that Gohan has. He only knows him as that kid, the guy he mentored, really as one of his best friends. And he sent him to his death, thinking that he cares more about a fight than his own son's life. This anger really just shows that protective instinct Piccolo has over him. And just imagine him feeling like this when you first meet him in Dragon Ball. To picture what he would be like now with Goku's son is just insane. And we also get another bonus point here of seeing Gohan's growth from Goku's point of view, which it says in the article, admonished by Piccolo, Goku valued Gohan's dreams too. He was pleased with Gohan's growth, however. Basically, Goku was more than happy for Gohan to become a famous scholar, and he knew deep in his heart that if Gohan didn't want to be a warrior, he was never going to be. But he also knew that Gohan had the potential, and it would save the Earth. If Gohan wanted to become that scholar, he needed to be alive to do it, and he knew that he could bring peace back to this world and stood a much greater chance than anyone else. But all it shows now, and is where a lot of those memes come from, is Piccolo is almost like a second father to Gohan. I've said it in previous videos though, I see it more as a brother relationship than a father-son relationship. Piccolo is just that older brother, the protective brother, the one who would do anything for his little brother, but still, on the side, he would happily slap him around the head too. But now we move on to the last part of Dragon Ball Z with this relationship, and that is versus Majin Buu. Gohan has just had his mystic power unlocked and has returned to the fight. He saves Piccolo and the two kids, and here, this almost confuses Piccolo. The growth is so confusing that he almost made a mistake for the ki to be of someone else. Now that's Piccolo. Piccolo, who is so close to Gohan, almost did not recognize him because of just how much power came with his potential unleashed. Says he's grown so strong that Piccolo misreads his ki. Piccolo even wonders, is this really Gohan? Something just feels different. He looks like Gohan, but it's just something doesn't quite sit right. He has just evolved that bit, and again, Piccolo is just basically proud of him and to see how much he has grown. He has almost turned into that true warrior that his potential always showed he could be. Piccolo sees him as no longer sweet and gentle. It's almost as though he's a different person. And really, at this time, it's what they needed. And there's another bonus point here as well, which is quite interesting to see. And it comes from a line from when Goku and Piccolo thought that Gohan was dead. And this is now from the point of view of Goku again, as Goku really does see it as Piccolo was the person that Gohan was closest to. I mean, he says, I think the worst for him about being dead is that he isn't able to see you anymore. The main thing Piccolo wants him to do is to give him his regards, tell him that he knows he's thinking about him. And Goku knows that Gohan would be feeling the same. It really shows that that bond is really just unbreakable at this point. They are true friends. And then finally, we move on to point 7. And this one is where we finally move into Super. And this actually covers 2 sagas. So we're going to split this into 7.1 and 7.2. For 7.1, we move into the Universal Survival Saga, where once again Gohan goes, you know what, I'm going to stop being a scholar for a minute and I really need to get stronger again to help in this tournament. Which, you know, kind of becomes his thing a bit, it feels. But here Piccolo, despite the fact they have Super Saiyan gods on their team, he doesn't think they stand any chance if Gohan is not in the team. He realizes after that initial training beforehand, Gohan is regaining his sense for battle, and really it only takes a brief time, but because of Gohan's true potential and that link that they have, he understands just how strong Gohan can be and how much of an important factor he is likely to play if they are going to manage to survive this at all. He's showing that Saiyan instinct. He's grown stronger during the fight, not just by hard training outside of it. Piccolo really has that 6th sense that links him with Gohan. And this kind of shows that despite Gohan's career choice, Piccolo always trusts him. And this shows from this next little 7.2 section, as I put it, the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga part, where Piccolo says he has absolute trust that Gohan is definitely someone we can count on. same as always. So even though Gohan now focuses on his scholarly work, Piccolo believes in Gohan's strength and helps him with his training at every turn. So, Gohan may spend his day job being a scholar, but Piccolo knows that every now and again Gohan will need to come back for that fight, and he will always be there to help him, as his teacher, as his mentor, as his father-brother figure, and mainly just as a friend. And so there we have it, a look at how Piccolo sees Gohan from his own perspective. It's really quite interesting to see that growth of the character in one short article to really emphasize just how much that they have grown. When Piccolo first basically kidnaps Gohan as a kid, to all that time where all he can do is rely on him and trust everything he does. It really shows so much about their relationship. Like I said, a lot of people see them as a father-son relationship. I see them more like brothers, but I'd love to know what you think about this all. Are there some major points within this article that they've really missed out that show really strong points about their relationship? Or do you think that this has hit all the key points and it did quite a good job? It'll be interesting to see how their relationship is shown again in the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, and if there's any new developments in that link. But there's actually something now I'd like to very quickly touch on at the end that this article kind of hints at, and that is the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga part. So this bit has obviously not been shown in the anime, whereas everything else in this article has. And so now we are on to the movies. So this makes it feel like the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga happened before Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which means it is definitely canon in both anime and manga. Obviously, every panel in this is shown to be a manga panel, not clips from the anime, but it is interesting to see that they are starting to link things in more. It was maybe a bit unclear beforehand when this was set, and it makes it feel like, okay, this is perhaps before the Granola arc, but there is at least another arc coming after this before this movie. In other words, hopefully that means we are getting the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga as an anime as soon as possible. I'm really getting very impatient in waiting for it, and I really want to see it. I do think Moro is actually a very good villain, and I probably would be one of the best in Super, so hopefully this is a hint that it is coming soon, and that's what they're going to be working on after this movie. I do love the movies, they are great fun one-offs, but at the end of the day, I want the actual series to return. I want weekly episodes, I want hours and hours of fun, not just an hour and a half. But yeah, so I'm going to leave that there for today. This was kind of just more of a general chatting one. Over the next couple of weeks, I may be struggling with uploads a bit. I'm away for about 10 days. I will try and get something recorded in advance, but I do apologize if there is a couple of weeks without anything on this channel. Just don't feel like I've disappeared again. But okay, I will actually end this now, and I will say thank you to you all if you have managed to reach the very end of this video with me today. Please remember, do all the great stuff, share the video, leave me a comment of your thoughts, drop a like on it as well. All these things massively help me out. And really, all I'll say now is thank you once again, and I will see you next time on History of Dragon Ball.